Welcome to Toastmaster Time, the show that has everybody talking. I'm Knox, and I'm your host for this edition. Now, this will be a special edition. Rather than our normal format of 3 speeches and 3 evaluations, tonight we will have the District 57 leadership team in conversation. That's right, those who we affectionately refer to as the trio will be here to talk with the moderator for tonight, a former district director, a former regional advisor, Tod Henry. Tod, what do we expect for tonight's program?
Thank you, Lewis. Greetings, friends. As Lewis just said, we're going to talk with District Director Kevin Markl, Program Quality Director Bett Bollhoefer, Club Growth Director Ashley Ching. We're going to get to share some information from them, and they're going to share some goals that they have, as well as tell about the roles that they do. It's going to be a fantastic evening. Kevin, District Director, tell us about that role and what your goals are this year, please.
Thank you, Tod. District Director, big words. I think to me what it really means is making sure that our members and our club officers have all the tools, all the knowledge, all the information that they need to deliver a great experience. If they can deliver a great experience for our guests and for our members and have fun while they're doing all of this, I think we're going to have a great time in our district.
Awesome. Bett, Program Quality Director, tell us about your role and your plans this year, please.
Tod, thank you so much for asking. So I'm Bett Bollhoefer, and I am the Program Quality Director, which I like to think of as the Vice President of Education for the entire district. My goals are to make sure that every member meets their goals.
Thank you, Bett. Ashley, Club Growth Director. It's a big title. Tell us about your role and what your plans are this year, please.
I could tell you or I could show you. I have a surprise. I got this tattoo of the Toastmasters logo. And when you see this logo, you think we build new clubs and we support all clubs in achieving excellence. We do this through the club extension team, through club coaching, and also through open houses.
Awesome, thank you. So Kevin, how did this come about? You've been a member for how long, and how did you become district director?
It has been a journey, I think of more than 8 years now being in Toastmasters. I remember when I first joined Toastmasters, I was here in the US with no friends, no family, and no job. All I had was a green card and somewhere to live. And so I thought, well, how am I going to get ready to actually interview and get my life started here in the United States? So I joined Toastmasters, and that's how my journey started. Table topics, answering questions on the go, and understanding how I can nail that interview. And Tod, I did nail that interview. I got it on the first take. And really, I realized the skills I learned in Toastmasters wasn't just about how to get the job in the interview. It was about how do I communicate in a corporate environment with employees and with customers. And then I learned, hey, Toastmasters is going to help me manage people in my organization. So I've kept up with Toastmasters through all these years because I've been able to learn and grow and use all the skills and all the knowledge I've learned in Toastmasters to be successful.
Can other people do similar things?
People can work towards whatever their goals are. Me, I was in sales, so I really focus on presentations and how to communicate with people. But then I shifted in my job. Now I was launching products. I had to coordinate with different stakeholders across the organization. And by golly, I even know of some people who were afraid of doing presentations to the board. So whatever your goals are in a corporate setting, for example, there are different ways that Toastmasters can help your goal reach you those goals and objectives.
Thank you, Kevin. Wow. You turned some major no's into some major yeses. Thank you. Bett, your journey and how did you get to this role?
I started as a shy software engineer, and I was terrified to even talk in my design sessions. Now, I think we all realize that every team member needs to raise their voice and give their concerns about something that's happening. And I was too shy for that. I had always heard my father talk about Toastmasters, and I joined a company that had a corporate club. I walked in the door and found this warm, welcoming group of people, and I just said, this is the group for me. And I quickly gained confidence, public speaking skills, and the most important thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is how to run a meeting. Because how many boring meetings have we been in our lives? Way too many. I learned how to run an effective meeting, and that's actually the skill that got me promoted to being a software architect. And now I'm a product manager at a very large company, and I just see the future very bright and full of hope. And as a district officer, I am learning how to run a large organization. We have, what, 3,000 members? I am learning how to run this entire district for quality, which is a very important corporate skill, and I'm learning that no extra dues required. It's an amazing opportunity.
Do you run all that by yourself?
No, I have an amazing team. Not only do I have this amazing trio, but we also have lots of chairs who help us run different things. And it's an amazing, incredible team. Very thankful.
Thank you, Bett. Ashley, your journey and how you got to this role.
I started in high school when I would do speech competitions for scholarships. And then after college, I needed a place to belong. I felt kind of out of place in my hometown. But when I first tried my Toastmaster meeting, I really fit in and I had a great time. I moved up the ranks and I eventually became president. And then I wanted to challenge myself with a district training. So I did the research and I read all the educational materials put on by the TI website, and I did my VP PR training for the district. I was so excited I could not eat, stand, eat, sit, or sleep. I was so excited. And then to make it even more anxiety-provoking, the past international director, Jim Coley, was introducing me. And when I gave my presentation, I just felt like I was really adding value to the district. So I want to take the next step in my Toastmaster leadership journey.
Thank you. I think what each of you just stated was everybody starts coming in that door, and it's up to them where all they can go, but there's people there that can help them. Ashley, what does District 57 plan on doing for guests this year?
We always want to make sure that guests have an excellent experience. I remember the first time I went to my home club, esteemed Oakland 88. There's a lot of past district directors there, so they make sure that guests are always welcome. As soon as I walked in, people came up to me, they shook my hand, they asked me questions about myself and made me feel welcome. And then we had another person actually break his role so that I was delegated responsibility and I could participate. That way everyone can speak, as a guest even. Finally, of course, I was asked to join the club. And even though it's 7 o'clock in the morning all the way in Oakland, I go to sleep early on Sunday night and I'm there because it's an excellent experience. And it all started as a guest.
Bett, what does District 57 do for members this year?
Todd, it's going to be a good year to be a member in District 57 because we have so many training events. Being a member means being part of a community and having fun and being recognized. In fact, aren't those our values this year?
Those are our values.
Excellent. The member experience is all about having an organized meeting. And one of my favorite things about my own personal club is that we're a strong community. And I was thinking a lot about what is it that makes a community? And it's actually when we all have an organized meeting and we're building each other up. If we come in and just casually sit around and chat, that's not building strong community. That's actually making probably someone frustrated who is taking their precious lunch hour and now they're wasting it. So actually, the way that the member experience is improved is by running a good organized meeting. Having an agenda, having all the roles filled, and making sure that people are doing program speeches and not just doing table topics the whole time. And that way, people actually really build relationships with each other because I see you grow, you see me grow, and we both really feel a bond. And that's how you build a really good, strong club, and that's how we all grow as members. So it starts with training, and we have lots of training events this year to help officers run those great meetings, helping speakers and members learn speaking skills outside of the club, and then we even have Train the Trainer and more events. So it's all about training and helping people be prepared to run great meetings.
District and club officers, what does District 57 do for them this year?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I think most people, when they think about being a club officer, the typical reaction is that somebody got their arm twisted into doing something that they didn't want to do. Right?
Yeah, my arm, oh.
Yeah, a little bit of arm twisting with my team members.
Meditation, right?
You know, the interesting thing, Todd, is as you work up outside of being a club member, you start getting more involved in thinking about your leadership skills. In fact, Toastmasters International, their slogan is, "Where leaders are made." The way I think about this is, we are giving people a voice, and we are giving people confidence to use their voice. The question I have for those people is, what are you going to do with it? You have a great responsibility now, right? The classic line, with great responsibility comes great power. No, I got it wrong. With great power comes great responsibility, right? And that's exactly the case. So what can we do with everything that we're teaching people around communication? Well, we can teach them to launch products that make millions of dollars. We can teach people to be social activists. The elections are coming up next year, and there's so much tension and divisiveness in the United States right now. How can we use communication skills and leadership skills to bring unity to us? It's what you do with Toastmasters, and I think being a club officer is the first step towards figuring out how you can manage and work with other volunteers who aren't paid to be there.
Wait a second, what? No payment, Kevin?
No direct deposit, Bett. No direct deposit. Absolutely. And so it's about the opportunity and empowering people to take advantage of that opportunity to become leaders, to use all the skills that they have to go after whatever it is they choose.
You all put a lot of time into this, in these roles, and you don't get paid. But you do get benefits. And Kevin, can you tell me some of those?
I definitely can. It's interesting. When I first met my wife, but years ago, my girlfriend, I told her, hey, why don't you come and see where I'm spending all my Tuesday nights? Who am I spending this with? What am I learning from this experience? I just wanted her to understand. She actually decided to join the club. She joined the club, and it made for really interesting evaluations. So it was about really, the experience of bringing a community together, bringing people together, which was really exciting, right? And whatever you choose to do in your personal life, that I think was really a great experience. But what did I learn beyond that? I learned that these skills and the soft skills and the hard skills that you learned really can transcend across everything. From doing a eulogy at my grandmother's funeral, being able to do speeches on the fly when people clink their glasses and say toast, they look at the Toastmaster in the room, to being able to launch corporate initiatives. These are skills that you can use all across your personal and your professional life.
Can other people do that?
Anybody can do this. All it takes is a moment of courage. Ashley talked about something earlier. She talked about going to a club meeting for the very first time. And I remember that too. I remember entering the room, and I didn't know any of the people there. I didn't know what was going to be happening, but I had people welcoming and greeting me. And I had people guiding me and mentoring me through what was happening in the meeting and what would happen after I joined. that is the fantastic thing about Toastmasters. We're all in this together, and we can all help each other get to where we need to be.
At this point, we'd like to take just a real quick public service announcement.
Name an effective political leader in history who couldn't speak well.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
There aren't any.
Because when it comes to a disease,
Freedom
like
requires
respiratory,
leadership,
there are
and
no
leadership
clear
requires
priorities.
oratory. You have to speak to be heard.
I have a dream.
It's all about personal growth and guts.
Never give in. Never, never, never.
Bett, as Program Quality Director, there's a couple of big events that you do in a year, TLI and conference. Can you tell us about those?
Todd, thank you for mentioning the Toastmasters Leadership Institute, one of my most favorite events of the entire year. And most of the time we do, what, one of them? But no, this year we did two, Toastmasters South and Toastmasters North. We sold out both of them. Huge record attendance, fantastic response, great trainers, wonderful event. I have so many good comments from all the people who attended, but it's not good enough for me. No. This year, coming up in January, I want to have even more high quality trainers, and so we're actually having two events this fall. One of them is called Train the Trainer, and one of them is called Advanced Train the Trainer. Wow, right? It's a really exciting event. And Kevin actually did a really good job with this last year, but I'm going to up the game, because last year people kept telling me that they wanted a chance to practice the Train the Trainer skills that they got, right? They learned how to run a little group activity, but they want to actually practice that. So we're going to have practice time for every person who attends this year. It's a really big benefit. But that's not where it ends. We also have the conference, which is going to be fantastic, San Ramon, April 25th. We're still working on the keynote speaker, so stay tuned. But it doesn't stop there. No, there's more. We used to have breakout sessions at the TLI for advanced speaking techniques, like humor, how to use a PowerPoint, how to run a webinar. But people, we sell out those events to just the officers, so now people are demanding to have those kind of events, so we're going to have a webinar series where people can learn those advanced topics. That's called the Masterclass series. So members should look out for that. But it's not over yet. I know you're asking, how could you fit more in this year? It's not. We have one more thing. Now, Todd, when you were preparing for a recent speech, I want to ask you, did you go on to the bookshelf and look for a manual, pull off the manual, open it up and look for some speaking techniques? Like, how did the people use gestures back in 1875? Did you do that, Todd?
I'm afraid that I did not.
Really? How unusual. Well, you know what? Actually, I was also preparing for a speech recently, and you know what I did? I went to Google and I searched. Is that how you do it also?
Sometimes.
Yeah. This is the modern age. If you ask yourself what happened to Blockbuster, where's the newspaper industry gone? It's all digital. Digital is the new thing. And Toastmasters International has put out an answer to the digital revolution, and that is called Pathways. We have this amazing Pathways program. It has all kinds of videos. It has interactive quizzes. You can test yourself for different qualities, like what's your leadership style. It's really, really fun and interactive. And we're going to put a champion in every club to make sure that everyone is able to get onto that system called Pathways, and that is called the Vice President of Pathways. So that program is also being run this year. Lots of exciting things happening, Todd. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Thank you. Can anybody attend TLI, or do you have to be a club officer?
For Toastmasters Leadership Institute, you do have to be a club officer, but for Train the Trainer, we're actually opening it up to the public.
Great. Thank you, Bett. Ashley, one of your big responsibilities is new club growth. can you tell us about some current activities that you have in the works as well as plans for the rest of the year?
Building new clubs is really special because we have a lot of people outside Toastmasters who do not yet know the benefits of our program. So we find people who can benefit from the skills we learn, like meeting presentation, professional development, everything. Right now we have 2 clubs at least that we're really focusing on with our kickoff meetings. But the overarching goal for the year for growth, I think, is open houses. This is how we get new people into our clubs to see what we have to offer, and we can grow our clubs. Because if you think of a club, it's like a bucket of water, and there's a hole in that bucket, and nearly 40%, up to 40% of Toastmasters quit every year. So we need to keep refilling that bucket with new members. I want every member, every club, we're shooting for at least 80% to take advantage of open house incentives. Because anytime during the Toastmaster year, it's very likely that when you put on an open house, we will reimburse you $50 for open house expenses. We want new people, keep it fresh, keep it exciting at our meetings.
Fantastic. Do you have some new clubs in the works right now?
We do. We have 2 at least in Fremont and Alameda. I'm going to a kickoff meeting in a few days. I just came back from vacation. I interrupted my vacation to go to another kickoff meeting, and I have an excellent extension team. I cannot do it alone. We need a team of club sponsors who are working toward their DTM, who can do the work of getting that kickoff meeting with the company and putting on demonstration meetings to show that Toastmasters is beneficial to your corporate clubs and to the community.
Thank you, Ashley. Kevin, can you tell me about a personal goal that you have this year, or more than one?
A personal goal. I've talked about this, and I think my team knows about it. Bett has certainly called me out on it before. You know, my goal, and we've touched on it today, is, you know, we need to do this together as a team. We have a lot of big rocks that we need to accomplish, right? It's not just about helping members reach their goals. It's about helping lots of members, more than 3,000 members, reach their goals, making sure our club officers are learning and are developing and growing so that our clubs become distinguished, so that we know that they're delivering a great experience. Part of becoming distinguished club is growing your club, addressing the leaky bucket. And of course, Todd, we also have to start new clubs. These are big rocks that we need to really move. I can't do this by myself. I need a team, and not just Bett and not just Ashley, but a large team. In fact, we have more than 50 area directors, division directors, chairs, club mentors, club coaches, club sponsors. We don't do this alone. And so I think if I can focus on not micromanaging, because there's no way I can spin all these plates, if I can focus not on micromanaging, but on developing and inspiring and motivating these people to reach their goals through all these different activities, I know it's going to be a successful year for myself, for our members, and our district.
Thank you, Kevin. Bett, same question. Personal goals this year.
Todd, my personal goal this year is to learn how to run a quality organization of over 3,000 people, because I have my eyes set on executive positions in the future in the corporate world, and I'm making sure that I make all the mistakes, sorry Kevin, here as a volunteer before I'm actually running a corporate company, which I would like to make sure I learn all of those things beforehand. In a safe, friendly environment where Ashley can poke me and be like, hey, Bett, you know, do this other thing. It's just a nice, friendly environment here at Toastmasters to learn that.
Thank you, Bett. What an awesome evening. Kevin, Bett, Ashley, thank you so much for your time tonight and sharing with us your goals and your plans and your vision. We need you to help us as well. But thank you so much for your time tonight and your efforts. I wish you the best. Lewis, I will send it back to you for the final.
Thank you, Todd. Well, that's our show. Thank you for joining us for Toastmaster Time. We tape our show in the San Francisco Bay Area If you would like more information about our show, please visit our website at toastmasterstime.com. We're sponsored by District 57 Toastmasters. For more local information, please look at their website at d57tm.org. That's d57tm.org. Finally, if you would like to have more information about Toastmasters, go to the international website, toastmasters.org. Thank you very much to the staff and volunteers at the Media Center who made this show possible. And thank you to our guests, Kevin Markl, Bett Bollhoefer, Ashley Ching, and finally, our moderator, Tod Henry. This is Louis Knox from Toastmasters Time. Good evening, and remember, keep talking.